Okay, this one we're going to selfishly talk about my elbow joint,
Hmm.
which the reason why I bring this up is because you FaceTimed me the other day.
You FaceTime me while you were training, no? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, no,
Okay.
you FaceTime me, but it's fine. It's whatever. I'll say I FaceTime you. So, because I was recording my elbow, that's why I picked up the phone and you were watching me train my
Oh,
elbow
got it.
because
Okay.
you interrupted my feedback loop of seeing how horrible this elbow is. Technically, it's getting significantly better.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so I feel like it's interesting to normalize. So I have a dysfunctional left elbow joint.
Describe.
Okay. When I was in high school, when I played high school football, I got like a lot of stingers from hitting people down my left side to the point where like it's different. Like you can see like the difference in tissue,
Yeah, definitely.
right? And the reason why you can see this is I'm clearing out this epimysial space as well. You'd be proud of me. Anyway, anyway, so long story short, I'm going to be having to use a lot more elbow flexion because my
Yes.
wife is expecting. So I'm going to have to be able to use my
Yes.
left elbow. And before,
Sustained elbow flexion.
sustained elbow flexion. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and listen, I've known about this elbow for quite some time, but I've always just been like, listen, I'm just going to like
I'll deal with it later.
avoid, yeah, deal with it. Well, later has now arrived.
Yeah.
Okay. And not to mention, it is irritating me because I just have less neural output in this extremity and it drives me crazy. But
Neural
anyway,
output when you're training, you mean?
yeah, because I have less access to tissue. So this
Hmm.
fatigue, like I don't feel,
Give us an
you know,
example of give us an example of where you feel that or what your metric would be to know that.
well, over here, okay, so well, like I'll just keep it to like bicep training because I feel like the elbow, like the type of dysfunction that I have in my elbow which is going to be like a lack of supination, right?
Hmm.
I have a lack of supination, and so that's gonna be a huge limiting constraint for training, elbow flexion, but specifically the bicep. That's why I was showing you, hey,
Yeah.
look at this bicep compared to that bicep.
Right, right, right.
Okay, so how I notice that is like I can't do same thing with supinated grip lat pull downs, right? Like I just can't get it into my lat and my bicep like I can on this side, right? So I'm like I'll just do neutral grip so that I can get it into the elbow flexors into my lats, right? I've compensated with this for a long time. I can tell you all
Sure.
the strategies, right?
Yeah,
Instead of
yeah.
just and when you think about it,
But I think this is important because it brings up a point whereby if you're dealing with a client who maybe doesn't feel it where they should feel it or fatigues early in a tissue that isn't necessarily the one that you want the signal to be going into from that input,
mhm.
or they don't like certain positions, or they always want to do neutral rather than supinated, as an example, whatever.
Hmm.
That might be a clue to then pull that out and actually look at the joint and see what's happening at the joint.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so so I've started to train this. Okay. Joint function with you could say like a lot of reactive strength, obviously. Right. But I'm also not gonna lie, I'm trying to get my left bicep to be as big as my right. Okay. So because this asymmetry has bothered
There's an
me.
aesthetic thing there as
Yeah.
well.
For sure, for sure. So, especially when you show your wife and they're like, "Oh yeah, I can see the difference." You're like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah.
So, okay, so long story short, so it's funny. It's funny. I'm running this Bulgarian,
Yep.
meaning that like I'm training this elbow quite aggressively on a daily basis, right?
Sure.
I'm not doing it, 3 times a day per se, because the tissue's just too sore for me to do that, but I'm training it daily.
Okay.
Okay. And that the daily training is starting to really accumulate and compound to where I'm really starting to see like positive benefits.
Okay.
Okay. But the reason why they're positive benefits is because I know what's going on. But it's funny. I can now relate to like the clients who have a joint dysfunction where it's like, and so I've been describing it like the past 2 weeks for people where it's like they come in and like, let's say their cars are better or joint range of motion's better or like tissue behavior, like reactive strength is better, right? Essentially, I'm like what I tell them is like it doesn't go from like bad to good. It's like it's not good, and then it's a little bit less not good, but it's still not good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because now think about what's happening. Like as I'm getting more supination and pronation, fundamental motion of the elbow, of joint function, I'm now feeling more tissue that I don't normally ever feel loaded. So it's like, but I'm getting more joint function, but the tissue feels more uncomfortable. Why? Because
Mm-hmm.
the tissue is completely unloaded within those ranges that were limited.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
know this. So for me, I'm like, oh, this is great.